Hey y'all, it's your favorite trainer with a belt buckle coming at you from our West Hollywood location. I'm the guy who wrote the book, How to Become a Successful Personal Trainer. Make sure to check out our Level 1 certificate if you want to get hired anywhere in the world. That's where you go. More reasonable, more respected, and you will be a trainer after 1 year. Statistically speaking, 90% of certified trainers, NASM, ACE, ISSA, NSCA, quit within the first 12 months. Not when you show up. Today we're going to go over our core accessory, also known as CCA, and how you would implement it if you were training at a big box gym and you could only use machines. We had someone comment on one of our YouTubes, then reached out on Instagram and said, hey Chris, I read your book. Holy shit, it was the best thing ever. But how would I implement some of the accessories if I only had machines? Great question. So let's go over that. So remember our core pattern, we're making reference to our core movement patterns, not our core. So we have a vertical push, vertical pull. We have a horizontal push and pull. Typically when we push, the main muscle will be your chest and tris. You also have muscles that will be assisting, that we quiz you on your level 1 that you need to know, because the scapula is moving in juxtaposition with the humerus as well as the elbow when you push and you pull. When you pull down, typically it's going to be your back and biceps. And then we have a squat pattern, a unilateral, a hinge, and a transitional. So we're going to pretend like you have your typical android, which would be a 40-year-old fat dude. 40-year-old android. And what an android means, excess adiposity in your midsections, specifically around your organs. Subcutaneous fat, typically is going to be your gynoid, which would be females. So you have a 40-year-old bro who comes in, he wants to lose 30 pounds, but he also wants to get stronger. He has a background of working out. He likes to lift weights, but the gym is packed and you can't get the bench, you can't get the squat rack, so you have to think on the fly and make it more machine-based. And so what I would do here is I'd start with the first core movement pattern, and we're going to put it as a hammer strength press. I love the hammer strength because they're very similar to dumbbells, but they're not a dumbbell, obviously. So you can have one unilateral size, you can push it one time. You could do some type of chest press machine if you would like, where both of the handles move at the same time, but I like hammer because I could just do one arm, which would engage your contralateral side for your core. For the second core pattern, I would do another hammer strength. And what we would do here is I would do a pull. So we got a push, we got a pull, and then for the accessory, I would add in obviously what's in your environment, but let's do some lateral raises on the shoulder machine. I love that exercise. Lateral raise. For the accessory, this is what your client wants to work on. If they wanted to work on their abs, you could do some abs on the ground, but we're going to make it machine-based just for this workout. So we would do the hammer strength push, we would do the pull, then we would do the lateral raise. Ideally, it would be in very economical right next to one another. I would do 15 reps for my first one. When I'm done with my lateral raises, I would rest, go back to the hammer strength, add some weight, do 12. Then go to your hammer pull, then go to your lateral raise. And last one, I would do 10 reps, and I would really get after it on that one. So here, instead of PR, I'm going to record that down in my iPad. I'm going to video it as well, so I have documentation doing the hammer strength. 2, we're going to go in our core movement pattern. It wouldn't be technically a squat or hinge or unilateral, but this is where you could put in your leg press. Now you may be thinking a leg press isn't a great lower body exercise. It's more knee dominant. It's just your quads, a little bit of hip extension. Everyone wants to say, point your toes out. Oh my God, it's a great ass exercise. Put them a little higher. You really get your glutes. Not that much hip extension when you do leg press. It's fine for people that are trying to grow their ass. I would put it at the very end of a workout, and I'll do high reps, and I would do it as an accessory. Here we're going to do it as a core movement pattern because you can move a decent amount of load. It's going to get your client's heart rate up there. If you had an option to do a hack squat, you could do that as well. The hack squat would be more progress than the leg press. And you also have to factor in your body weight when you do the hack squat. So core pattern that we would do next, we have a push, we have a pull, horizontal push, let's throw in a vertical push. Hammer strength military press, and then to complement that, let's do some chest flies as the accessory. Same format as above, 15, 12, 10. After I'm done with this circuit, I would move into my third one. Now for our last circuit, what I would do is I would do another pull, There's no rule that you have to do 2-to-1 pulling to pushing. Whoever thought of that was probably some nerdy physical therapist. Some trainer didn't understand why they were implementing it, and now it's just spread like wildfire. You got to do a 2-to-1 or you're going to get hurt. No, there's no evidence that supports that. But for the most part, if we're here, and a lot of bros go to the gym, we do a lot of pushing here, we don't even it out by pulling. So if you have someone who maybe has some shoulder issues, maybe they're a little anterior tilted, let's just do a little bit more on the back end, see if we can clean that up. And if you're doing that for who knows how long, they were doing a 5-to-1 ratio pushing to pulling, so if we start reversing it, then it can help with even them out a little bit. And remember, we don't need to be perfectly symmetrical. So I'll do a pull there. Let's do some calves because everyone wants some beautiful suckers like that. And then I'll end off on a leg curl. So here on the last one, a lot of times I'll do a CAA, a core pattern, which would be your pull. So we have a push, we have a pull, vertical, horizontal. And then we have a calf exercise, and then we have a leg curl. For the accessories, we like to do single jointed exercises. We like to do exercises that can be prehab or rehab if your client has an injury. It can be your abs, lateral, posterior. Another technique you could do if you didn't want to do a machine here, you could do hammer strength push, hammer strength pull, anterior abs. For the next circuit, leg press, hammer strength press, lateral abs. And then we're going to do a pull. Maybe you want to do some body weight stuff, and then you end, which would be your low back. And then next time they train, you can incorporate some anti-rotation like a paylock. So there's a lot of creative things that we can do for the Bs. This is where I really like to get creative as well. Instagram worthy. You put an exercise in there that your client's never done before, they're going to keep on coming back. But don't let it compromise the integrity of the first core pattern. That's where we really want to optimize our tension. So typically we would put cardio or any exercise that's going to compromise the integrity of that first exercise down in the second or third circuit. So what I mean by that is for the leg press, the hammer strength, we see we have the chest fly here. Chest fly I wouldn't have put up here because the chest is working when we're doing the push. So I'll put that into an accessory later on. Now I would also not put cardio here because it's going to compromise the leg press. So let's do something that is going to be not taxing on the first and second one for the most part when it comes to cardio. The last one down here is when I want to put some cardio in there. Again, notice how I did CAA. It depends on the individual. If I ask my client here and he's kicking ass, maybe you want to do a CCA. Hell, if they're in really good shape, you could do CCCA. You're going to find it makes your life a lot easier because you're not thinking about where am I going to go next. You're just looking at the core patterns. So you do the first two are going to be core patterns, and then you have your accessory. 2 core patterns, accessory. The last one depends on the individual. You could even do a fourth one down here. Maybe you look at the clock and it's 3:45, client came in at 3. Well, you can go through and maybe you ask your client, what's a machine in here you want to learn how to do? So you walk around with them and you show them how to do it. Now I would write down this machine-based workout for my clients to say, I want to work out 2 extra times. What do you suggest that I do? Well, now they have that machine-based workout that they can do. Machines are great. A lot less likely to hurt yourself by doing machines, whereas a client not quite sure if it was the 30s or if it was the 40s when they were doing the incline press to pick up weights that are too heavy, and then they hurt themselves when they're not with you. So my clients train outside of my 4 to 6 times per week that I suggest. I'm going to have them do a machine-based workout. You can have a body weight-based day where it's just pushing and pulling and squats and lunges and transitional, and then maybe they do some cardio. You could just have a cardio day. You can have a Metcon day. There's a lot of creativity you can do on those non-workout days with the trainer. Here's what it'll look like to train a 40-year-old who has a big old belly, trying to get rid of that android obesity. That's the significantly more likely to cause coronary artery disease than subcutaneous. Obviously, I'm not calling my client a fat ass or calling him Mr. Android or anything like that. Just in my mind, when I size them up, probably going to be a lot more deconditioned than you thought. And you may even need to regress this just to a CA. So again, the great thing about this template is you will learn what your client's capable of. And when you do a multi into a cardio for the first circuit or battle ropes, it's too taxing. Your clients can't make it. Always start out, think of the first circuit as easier, moderate, then you can get after. Whereas a lot of trainers go advanced, I got to annihilate my client, they can't even make it halfway through the workout. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this comment. Let us know other programs you'd like to see, other case examples. We have thousands of them from our Santa Monica, West Hollywood, La Jolla locations. People send in an inquiry, they want to work with a trainer. We have those, so let us know what type of client you would like to learn how to train, whether it's 3 days, full body, split, 3 days in a row that a client can only train because they're a nurse. What do those workouts look like? We can help you design anything. We're online, in person, 2 months. I guarantee you 1 week of our online internship, you will learn more than any certification that's out there, money back guaranteed. If you show up, you get access to the pros. We will help turn your passion for fitness into a career. All you got to do is, boom, show up.